twice wounded in combat. He's a partially disabled Marine. He suffered traumatic brain injury and an IED blast serving his country, fighting for the rights that we're trying to regain. He was also the first victim underneath the SAFE Act. His name is Ben Wassel. He's also my friend now too, and I'd like to give him a very warm welcome for coming here tonight. He drove a long way to be here.
Brief history of myself, so you know who I am. Basically, I've been a volunteer firefighter since, junior firefighter since age 15. Joined the fire department at age 18. Met my wife in high school. We got married. I have 2 kids, a 2-year-old. In November, my son will be 2 and my daughter will be 6. I joined the military after September 11th. About a year later, I finally ended up going to boot camp with the goal of fighting tyranny and defending people's rights. And little did I know, 8 years later, here I'd be back at home doing the same thing. I did serve 2 combat tours in Iraq, and I was injured during one of my combat tours. Other things I did in the military, I was a weapons instructor. I did marksmanship training because I had a high rifle score. They took me into the rifle range and I taught Marines how to safely and accurately operate their M16 service rifles. From then on, my weapons instructing really took off in the Marine Corps. Basically every weapon system I touched or was trained on, I picked up well, and my superiors saw that and they made me instructor on almost every single weapon in the Marine Corps. That was a skill set I learned in the Marine Corps, and I tried to translate into the civilian world because it's something I'm good at. Before my arrest, I used to train, after I got out of the Marine Corps, teach people at local rifle ranges how to safely operate their weapons and shoot them accurately. That all changed in March 2013 when I was arrested by different agencies of the state. No county agencies, none. My house was swarmed as I was getting ready for work by the state police, Department of Criminal Justice Services, the Attorney General's office, and they come into my home, terrorize my family. My daughter was traumatized from it. She was at the time 4 years old, going into preschool. And that day, she just stood in the middle of her classroom and busted out crying. Said, my daddy was taken away by the police. My daughter, 4 years old. They come in and they put me in handcuffs, they stand me in front of their car, they're out in public, so all my neighbors get to see me being arrested. And the lead investigator says to me, we're taking all your guns today. You have no choice. Me not understanding all the law, I say, okay. And she says, you can either give us permission to enter your home, or we'll come and we'll get a search warrant, and we'll be back and we'll take everything in your home. So I said, you know what, I'll cooperate. I'll sign this consent to search form. Go in my house, search, I guarantee you there's not one single illegal weapon in my home. So what do? They go in, ask my wife for the rifle or the shotgun and the handgun that were in the house. Took my handgun that I carry with me, took that away from me. Took away my rifle out of my personal truck that I had just gone to the range with. Didn't bother even looking through my house for illegal weapons because they knew there were none. Okay, so I'm arrested, arraigned on 3 felonies, four felonies. Sorry, I have a bad memory. 4 felonies and a misdemeanor under the SAFE Act. Okay, now during the course of this trial, the state, and again, only the state, put out a lot of misinformation. So regardless of what you guys might have heard from Snyderman, I'm not a dangerous criminal. You guys don't have to hide your purses or anything. It was impossible for me to fight the misinformation they put out. You know, they're telling people I was modifying weapons to make them illegal, which is completely false, and they knew it when they put it out. I was basically set up. There was nothing I could do to fight this. I went in there with a lawyer, wasted money, $30,000 in debt, and after paying, some $8,000 to get convicted. In the end, they tell everybody there's no longer a Safe Act case to try to kill my support, so nobody will come out and support me, which they did a pretty good job. I had 3 people other than my family in court for the trial. And I'd like to thank Oath Keepers for that. Oath Keepers and the Free Group, they're the only ones that actually supported me through this trial. Steve Allstott, now that I've reached out to him and made him aware of more of it, Scope is supporting me, Second Amendment Coalition, and all these other groups that are here today. My lawyer supposedly contacted the NRA, but I don't know that for sure. He told me they didn't want to participate. I don't know if that's true or not. But here I stand now, despite what they say, convicted of 3 felonies, violent D felonies under the SAFE Act. I've dedicated my life to helping people and protecting people. And I'm a violent D felonies. Okay, I can no longer possess a firearm. My wife can no longer possess her firearms. Currently, our guns that they illegally seized, I called them out on it about a month after I was arrested, and I said, I'd like to know exactly what statute you guys used to confiscate my weapons. I'd like a copy of it so I can read it and be aware of my rights. He says, I don't want to get into an argument with you over the phone. I said, I'm not looking for an argument. I just want to know my rights. I want to know the law. I'm a private citizen. I don't know the law. Inform me. Tell me what law I should read to see, why you guys took my weapons. His response is, you should talk to your lawyer. Okay. I go talk to my lawyer, who charges $225 an hour.
$375.
There you go. So I go consult my attorney and say, hey, what statute gave them the right to confiscate all my weapons? I don't think there is one. You didn't bother telling me that before. Okay, so I call back up to the Attorney General's office. Me and my wife, we fought. Lawyer kept wanting to get involved. In the end, it was my wife and I contacting the Attorney General's office. We ended up, they had to give them back. We got all of our rifle, I got my rifle, my shotgun, and our handguns back. They come in here telling people they have no rights, they have no choice. You do what you're told and that's it. They don't tell you the law. How is everybody supposed to know the law? The assemblyman down here, he said the stack of paperwork for the SAFE Act was this thick. I bet they still don't even know the whole thing. And I'm sure he read it over and over again. Okay? This is what we're up against. I vow to uphold the Constitution and support the oath that I took when I signed up for the Marine Corps. To support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I will do that until I breathe my last breath. And for them, I hope you guys do too.